I got a Fitbit for my birthday from my sister. It doesn't tell time, it just monitors how horrible I am about everything.
Sex, death, money, drugs.
Hello, fabulous freaks, and welcome to another DIY video, and it's actually a decent DIY video. Who'd have thought? Oh my god. So this is a summer project, even though summer's about to end. Good on timing, aren't I? But during the summer, I was on the hunt for a really good coffin towel. The first one I had actually seen was for Spooky Box Club. Their coffin towel is actually a waffle coffin towel, which I don't know if you've ever actually felt waffle towel material, but it's very thin and it's actually more meant for like kitchen rags and stuff like that. So I really didn't want a towel like that, and it was very expensive, you know, with, US border crap and everything. So I decided to look more online, and the first one I found was actually for skin cancer awareness, and it was actually a coffin towel, and it had like skin cancer awareness printed on it. I don't know why they stopped that idea, because I thought it was ingenious, but they decided to stop selling them. I'm guessing because it was offensive, but sadly they don't sell those anymore, which kind of sucks, because honestly I think a lot more people would have bought them if they knew about it. Then I went to Amazon and I found two. I found an Elvira one and I found a Vampira one. I was really attracted to the Vampira one, but the cheapest one I could find was $30. So I decided to not go with the Vampira one, and I decided to make my own. Here's how I made a good coffin towel. The first thing I bought was 2 yards of this bat Halloween fabric for $5.59 a yard. You do not have to buy Halloween fabric. I just wanted this because I was set on a gothy green and black color scheme. I do recommend only getting cotton fabric since this will be a towel and towels get wet. Next, I bought a black 35 by 70 inch bath towel for $15.99. Again, it doesn't have to be black, I just prefer black mostly for looks, but also because it dries quickly. Then we throw it in the wash. I do recommend washing it a few times to get the lint out. As the towel is being washed, I'm going to cut out strips using these measurements. By the way, these measurements I couldn't find online, so I had to figure them out myself. You're very welcome. Also, be sure to iron your fabric from the fabric store. I don't have an iron because I'm cheap and awful. Cut your strips to be 4 inches wide. I didn't do that because, again, I am awful. When you get your strips and your towel is clean, lay out the towel flat on the floor and then put the strips in the pattern that you want. This helps to ensure you got everything right. If the strips are a little long, don't worry about it. Next, take a piece of chalk and outline the inside of your strip. Put a strip aside and cut away the towel along your chalk line. Wrap your strip along the edge and clip it on using alligator clips, which are great for sewing projects. Repeat the cutting until your strips are wrapped. Now we go to sew on the strips. And now, to bring out a sewing machine so dark, so evil, it can only befit a dark queen such as myself. Now, my project was near completion, but the two longer sides didn't turn out right, so I used a seam ripper to get rid of them and do it again until this happened. Why? Why did this happen? Why do I suck so much? Thankfully, I have an idea to combat this problem. First, remove your cap from the vicinity. Then, grab a white spool of thread with needle, your scissors, and your leftover fabric and cut a square bigger than the damaged spot. Fold in the edges and sew it on with what I like to call a ragdoll stitch, which is a stitch that's lazy but is going to provide a certain look for this. Then I put it on the other side of the tear. Don't worry about the edge, that is going to be hidden when I reapply the new hem. Now we got some nice patches. but it needs more. Remove your cat again and use your chalk to draw out designs or designate areas to put patches. I added 2 more patches so the fixed spots don't stick out like a sore thumb. Then I sewed an RIP at the top. Yes, I know it's crooked, but I like it. And behold, my new coffin towel! It's still long enough for a proper towel, and it goes around easily. Plus, it actually leaves more room in your beach bag. So even though I messed up on the hem quite a bit, I actually really like doing this project, and this project is really good for getting back into using a sewing machine if it's been a while, or if you're just learning to use a sewing machine. This is a great project to do that with. I mean, you could do this by hand, but it's gonna take a long time. I mean, I did the RIP by hand, and that took forever. And that was with a really lazy Sally stitch, you know? So do yourself a favor, if you have a sewing machine, use it. Now, if you're all done with your coffin towel, do not throw the extra fabric away. You can do so many other things with extra fabric. For instance, I made a cute little bandana out of the extra fabric that I had. And also, don't throw the extra strips away. You can use these for other things. Even if you don't actually use them for another project, even if they're too small, like let's say it's about this tiny, like a little scrap, it's this tiny. You can use that scrap and turn it into stuffing for a stuffed animal or something different. There's a million things you can do with this extra fabric. This alone, I can easily turn into a bracelet if I wanted to. So, word of advice, don't ever throw your extra fabric away. You paid for it, use all of it. Well, that was it for my DIY. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I worked really hard on this project, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye!